Hello, welcome to What Now? What now? I'll tell you what now. Seeds. We're going to talk about seeds today. So today we're going to do this really cool experiment where you're going to have kind of a showcase to how seeds grow. And you look really closely here, you can see that was a bean that I planted, and look what's growing out of it. You've got the shoot growing up, there's some leaves that are about to unfold, and all those cool roots just seeking nutrients in the soil. And I can take these and stick them in the ground and they'll grow into plants. But what this is just an old CD case, right? And there's a use for them. You just take a wet paper towel and you put some seeds. This is just a white bean. Look at that. This thing grew out of here and it doesn't need that anymore, so it sort of discarded it, but you can see where it's coming right out of this one and right out of this. Can you see that? The shoot's coming out of the top and the roots are coming out. This is a bean that did not make it and it's just schmutzy. But look at that. Isn't that incredible? That is remarkable. Look, the roots are in the paper towel themselves. So you can do that. You can put this in the case and put it somewhere and watch how a seed sort of unfolds itself and starts turning into a plant. So check this out. This is my little radish patch. Look, I'm going to pull one up. Whoa, it's beautiful. You know what? Just a few weeks ago, this was a seed. Want some kale? I planted this last, in the wintertime. It was a tiny little seed. Look at it now. It's huge and delicious. It's springtime and everything is growing, and everything that's growing out there, every plant that's growing, starts from a seed. And so we're going to look at seeds today, and we're going to look at how they grow. We're going to look at what they need in order to survive and to sprout. And I want you to go out and plant your own seeds. First of all, one cool thing to do is if you go around the kitchen, you will find seeds everywhere you look. I just pulled out a few from my cupboard. There's some white beans. Those are seeds. I got some red lentils. Those are seeds too. I got some green lentils. Hey, look, I have a lime. You cut into a lime. Yeah, there's some seeds in there. I don't know if you can see the seeds in there. You cut into an apple. Boop, boop, boop. Seeds. Cut into an avocado. You know what that big thing in the middle is? It's a pit, but do you know what the pit is? The pit is not the pits. The pit is a seed. And these things, if you plant them in the ground or if you give them the right conditions, they'll sprout into plants. So I'm in my yard, and this is a Douglas fir tree. I've got a lot of Douglas fir trees around there. Huge, huge evergreens. Huge, if you think about it. And look, you know what? This is a pine cone. This is like the size of the seed. A tiny, tiny seed like this can turn into a massive, beautiful tree like this. It's pretty remarkable. And especially remarkable is the fact that when they use chlorophyll and the leaves create the sugars, the plants create the sugars, they're actually pulling elements out of the air and creating a tree. That's just crazy to me. I have got some of the seeds that I'm planting this year. I'm planting some watermelon seeds, which look like this. I'm planting some winter squash. This is a variety of winter squash. They're called edible and ornamental. They're lovely. Some are big, some are little. And then these are lettuce seeds. Look at them. Can you see how tiny they are? They're teeny. So I want you to do this. Go around, do a little seed treasure hunt. Go in your kitchen, go look and see what kind of seeds there are that you use for food all the time. Sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Take a look, see how many that you can find. Then go on outside. If you're in a place where you can go and see, if you find pine cones, we're in a piney place. So there's pine cones, there's Douglas fir cones, there's all sorts of evergreen cones. Those actually have seeds inside. Maples, I don't know if you've seen in the fall where they go whoo like little helicopters. Those are seeds too. So this is an arugula plant of mine. This is a beautiful peppery green. This is what the leaves look like. You put those into salads. They're yummy. I love them. I've let them grow to flower here. So why did I do that? Not because the flowers are particularly beautiful, although I think they are beautiful. The bees come and they pollinate it, and when they do, they have these little pods, and when those mature, inside are little seeds, and I gather those. I can throw them in the ground and have all new, brand new arugula plants. In fact, if you look down here, this is the gravel. It looks like they're weeds, but in fact, they're just seeds from the arugula plant that kind of went down here and have started to sprout. Seeds are amazing. They know how to wait for just the perfect conditions, and when the perfect conditions happen, enough water, enough sunlight, bloop, they just sprout. They're just amazing. Seeds are these amazing little packets of goodness, right? This is sort of like a backpack of life in there. There's a little seed in there, and one thing that I love to do, ask your parents if they have any old CD covers, because, you know, nobody has CDs anymore. But this is a really cool way to take a look and see how seeds sprout. All right, so here's what you need for this experiment. You need a CD case. If you don't have a CD case, no big deal. Get a little glass that you can use, or a jar. You need tissues, and you need water, which I poured into this lovely pitcher. What I do, and you need a seed. And these seeds just came right from the cupboard. You can get any of the seeds that you find in your cupboard and see if they'll sprout. This seed probably won't fit into your CD thing, but you can actually position it over water, and if you're lucky, an avocado sprout will sprout. So what you do is you take your CD cover and you get a couple of tissues and you get them wet. Whoop. That's all you do, and you just put them in here. I actually open them up because it's a pretty thin space if you look at that. But it's nice because that way you get to see what's going on. It takes about 2 or 3 tissues just wetted and put in. So when you get a couple of tissues in there that are wet, you take your beans or your seeds or whatever, and I just like to just put them in. I put in a few in a row like this. In fact, let's put in a few more. I'll put a pumpkin seed in there. I'll put a watermelon seed in. And then, easy peasy, you just close the lid, and then you've got your little observation slide. You can stick this anywhere. It doesn't even have to be in the sunlight. In fact, it sprouts just as well in the dark. I had mine just sitting on the counter, and it probably takes a few days, but check it every day and see what happens. See what changes you see. So what happens first, in my experience, is the roots come out, and they come out because they seek water, and that way they can pull water into these seeds and use the food that's stored in the seed package, and that gives energy for the leaves to come out. And it'll be interesting to see how the pumpkin seeds sprout differently than the bean seeds and differently from the lettuce seeds. And any seeds that you might use. So just have this on the counter and check it every day. You can even make drawings if you want to. Again, if you don't have a CD cover, no biggie. Just take your tissues, get them wet, and you don't want them to be soaking wet. You just want them to be kind of wet but not drippy. You know what I mean? And then you kind of, the glass is going to take a little bit more. You pack it in, and then you just put your seed close to the edge so that you can see it. And we'll do it all around. So you can see that. And then you just put a tissue on top of it so that it is moist all around. You want to make sure that this doesn't dry out. You might have to check this one too every other day or so, because if it's totally dry, it's not going to work. You want to make sure the tissue is still damp. And then keep an eye on it and see what happens. And then once you get a plant, then stick it in the dirt and something will grow. It's amazing. Seeds are amazing. So remember when we put the seeds in the CD case here? We put the beans in, we put some squash seeds in, a watermelon seed, and lettuce. Look, the lettuce is already sprouting. It's only been 1 day. And look, all those little tendrils going down, those are roots. So the next thing we're going to see are leaves for that one. And then we'll see what happens with these guys in the next coming days. And I put some in a glass too, but this one hasn't changed much either. We'll see it. We'll check it tomorrow. So it's been a couple days now, and you can really see our seeds have started to make a big, big bolt. Look at these are the lettuce seeds. Remember how they were just these tiny specks? So the roots are down and their leaves are shooting up. I got to put those in the ground. These will grow into lettuce with huge leaves. It's remarkable, isn't it? How tiny that seed was. And there's the bean seeds. I've got 3 of them. This one is already shooting its little taproot down. Do you see it? And I don't know if you can see around the corner there, but it's starting to split. This one's a little further advanced, so it's splitting up. You can see that the leaf part, that's actually the leaf part right there, that's trying to kind of come up and go, yeah. And that is a squash seed. Looks like the root things are going down, and it also looks like the...
Oh, I can't see the squash seed.
Here's a squash seed here, and it looks like the roots are going down, but it also looks like the leaf part is coming out of the same part of that seed, and it's going to come up and start to shoot up this way. There's the watermelon seed. Can you see the watermelon seed? It's got a little root thing shooting out of it. It doesn't have the leaves quite yet. And what else have we got? We got a couple. Well, this one, another squash seed. It's got a root going down. Look, you can see the little hairs on the root. Can you see that? All of that information, all of that genetic information is inside that seed. It's telling the seed how to send out roots and how to make the roots go into little root hairs that can soak up the nutrients out of the soil. And it's also telling the seed to actually make the leaves and the stems. It's so cool. And it's got the energy in there to make it happen. This one hasn't done anything yet. And you know what? Some seeds may not actually turn into plants. It just depends on if the conditions are right and if the seed is healthy. In fact, these lettuce seeds are going to turn into huge, big heads of lettuce. In fact, I got one out in the garden right now. Let's go look. So check these out. These are all lettuce heads, and they all came from just one seed each. Look how huge these leaves are. Look at this one. I'm going to be harvesting this one for dinner tonight because it looks delicious. Look at that. All from that teeny tiny seed. Isn't that incredible? So go on, collect some seeds, stick them in a little viewer, and see how they grow. Thanks for joining me today on What Now? See you next time. Okay, good. One bite. Charlotte doesn't like lettuce.